Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Commander Lewis Bates Mirabals.
Thank you very much. My voice is good. First of all, for those of you who have never seen the flag passing ceremony, that had to be one of the most emotional, best renditions you could ever see. So thank you, Nathan, very much. Thank you, Flag Detail. And for those of you who don't know, the music that was playing in the background underscoring was music written by Mark. So, I stand here, and I didn't write a whole lot. I'm going to wing it. I don't care. Let me just first say, I know there's a piano there, Mark, and you're not playing me off. But it's truly humbling to see so many people here. When I first planned on having this retirement ceremony, I think I was talking about 40 people, and half of them were going to be the participants and their families. So it's truly touching for me to see so many people out here. And I'll go back to Ralph Waldo Emerson, who's quoted that every man I meet is my master in some point, and that I learn from him. And every single person in this room, even from the people I just met today at the VFW, I learned something from them. Everyone here has helped me get to this point right now in some way, shape, or form. Because you truly cannot complete a Navy career by yourself. It takes a lot of work. No matter how much I thought I was going to be able to do everything that my program says I did, it looks very war hero-ish. It really is everyone here, from Junior, who I met 18 years ago, my shipmates that are here from the Eisenhower, from the Cheyenne, from the Bon Rashar, from shore duties, everywhere. I have friends here that I grew up with when I was a child that really know me as Bates and never knew me as Luke. And then people that in my family, I'll talk about them in a sec, but people I've just met recently, especially through Mark, that have really touched my life. And I can't say how much it means to me to look out and see everyone here today. When I joined the military over 20 years ago, it was kind of a surprise. I'd already graduated college, and I was enlisting. And for those of you who don't know, why would you enlist if you already had a college degree? You just come in as an officer, get the air conditioning right away. But I was a little naive in the process, and so I enlisted, did my 6 years, served with some great, great people. Like I said, Junior's here, and Marty and Sabrina, and Bob and Steve, who've just been so wonderful. But the military has always been a big part of my family's life. My father served in the Navy back in the 50s and 60s. My brother served in the 80s. My Uncle Porfy, my Uncle Charlie were also in the Navy. My brother Charles, who is unable to be with us today because he's in the Navy right now on the West Coast. Would have been nice to see him. And not just in the Navy. My cousin Carlito served in the Army, and then my Uncle Pooley in the Marines, multiple tours in Vietnam. And one of my true inspirations back when I was still in college, my Uncle Junie, who passed away during the first Gulf War as a fighter pilot on a Harrier jet, who's always been with me through my entire career, and even before that, and gave his life in service to our country. And his mother, my aunt, Titi Terry, is here, as well as his sisters and their families. And it just means so much to me to be able to stand here and have you here to share this moment with me. I kind of wish it was only 40 people, and I could thank every single person here. Because there's so many people that I want to thank. And maybe the Oscars thing, they should have had a thing going, scrolling along the bottom. But to my shipmates, I currently are at Submarine Squadron 6, the side boys and the flag passers that you just saw here today. Thank you so much, Sarah, Dan, Chris, Marcus, Juan, and especially Russ, who has been ringing the bell, and he's been a true friend these past 3 years. He came up late last year as a fellow Jet fan, and he went to his first Jet game, which was a wonderful thing for us to share together, and he's been a true friend through all this. My friend Orwin, who was on the submarine with me years ago when we were stationed and did that deployment with me, who was taking photos for me, I appreciate that he's able to come here to do this. And Steve and Marty and Sabrina, all from the Eisenhower, he's videotaping, but they were a true help these past 2 days, helping set up and just keeping me level as I started freaking out. I'm not sure where she is, but Patty Lapone, thank you for last night and the advice. I know my voice isn't 100%, but well, you should have heard me yesterday. Truly want to thank Mr. Nathan Lane and Miss Jennifer Lewis for being part of this ceremony. When I asked them to do it, at least they said they were very honored, and I truly believe it. But it meant so much to me, since I've met Jennifer and both Nathan. They've just been true friends and been very supportive of me over the past few years and everything that I've done. Last week I had to fly to Phoenix. It was a friend of mine unexpectedly had complications with surgery. And while I was there, he passed away. And I served with him when I was stationed in Connecticut. He was my biggest supporter over the last 10 years, and ask me later about my first introduction with Mark and how things played out. But my friend Roger was a good man who was always supportive of me and was so looking forward to being here at this ceremony, probably more than my mother. And when I spoke with him for the last time, but yeah. When I spoke with him for the last time, he was going into surgery the next day, and he was a big NASCAR fan. There was a NASCAR event last weekend, and then this weekend was this, and he told his doctor, I don't care about the NASCAR, I gotta get on that plane to get to this ceremony. So for him not to be here is very sad for me, but I know he would want this to be a celebration, and that's what I intend this to be, especially at this party. Also, 20 years ago, when I joined the Navy and enlisted, I got dropped off at the recruiting station with my two brothers, Frank and Carlos, and we were driven there by my dear friend, Vin Ortiz. Lifelong friend. I mean, he babysat us. And he also has passed away a few years ago, which was, I took very hard. And I know he's looking down right now at us and at me at this ceremony, how proud he would have been to be here. I mean, his sister and his niece are here with us today, and I thank you so much for being here. The last 10 years of my life have been very, let me just say, unexpected. 10 years ago, I met a man in Mark, and my life has been very different since. And everyone has been very supportive of me. And in the last 2 years, it's been very special. And in all the ups and downs and the complications that I faced, one man has shown true class in this whole thing, and Mr. Scott Whitman. Thank you so much for these last years. And my brothers, for people who have siblings, if you see us together, you think we hated each other. I mean, we argue all the time, but we've always had this love of a lifetime of of a bond that we had from the way we grew up and then even now, and the different paths that we've taken. You know, with me being in the Navy, my younger brother Carlos playing baseball, and my older brother Frank, you know, staying in the area and working, who has the most incredible work ethic you could ever imagine. I mean, boy, what a work ethic. But Carlos as well, when he was playing baseball, and you couldn't stop him from doing what he needed to do. I looked to both of them in that work ethic and trying to do the things in the Navy. I'm not going to say I always succeeded, but I think me standing here is a testament to what I got from the two of them to get me to this point, to just fight through any challenges that I faced in my Navy career, and to complete it in this way with so many people here. My mother and father, I don't know what to say. They are here. So both of them are here, and they're sitting right here in the front. And I can't say how happy I am to just look right here and see both my parents sitting here watching me as I do this final act of my naval career. She's my mother. She's my mother. I love them with all my heart. And lastly, to Mr. Mark Shaman. I love him dearly. For the last 2 years, he's made me the happiest man on the planet. I hope that we are happy for the rest of our lives together. Just in conclusion, I want to say how proud I have been to wear this uniform. To thank all my shipmates, both current and past, serving in the Navy, as well as my fellow servicemen and women, all the armed forces, for allowing me to serve with you for the last 20 years. For my cousin Manny Rivera Jr., and the 69 men and women who served with me in Afghanistan and gave their lives for our country. Thank you.